After a hospital dash with her baby son, Izzy Judd was left overwhelmed with anxiety. But then husband Harry, who you'll know from McFly, suggested a mindfulness course for mothers, which helped her find calm in the chaos of parenting. Since then, she's compiled her own tips and tricks in a new book, and she and Harry are here to tell us all about it. Hello, you lovely two.
Hello.
Hi.
So nice to see you.
Right, I'm so glad that you're on talking about this, because for a very long while I had that really prejudiced idea of mindfulness, that you have to take a raisin and sit for an hour and eat it to really find yourself. And I think a lot of people think that way about mindfulness and haven't really been opened to what a brilliant tool it can be for anxiety, not for children, but for anyone. And you're passionate about it, aren't you, Izzy? I watch you on Instagram with your kids, turning their ears off, turning their eyes off.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, ever since I was a young girl, I struggled with anxiety. And I think this year especially, we've all been completely tested to our limits, haven't we? But we've also been brought back to just being completely naturally mindful without really realising it. We're reaching for nature a lot more. When we're going out with the kids, we can enjoy just the simplicity of the present moment. And I think as a mum, I really struggle to be present. My mind is always thinking about what needs to be doing next, and I can't often just sit and be in the moment with Lola and Kit. So I use mindfulness as a way to just help me bring myself back to them. And children are the best, like, mindfulness teachers, really.
I mean, young children, they are literally a lesson in mindfulness, aren't they? When you see them, like right from babies, when they just watch their finger and they're just so in that. But we lose that ability, don't we? And actually in the break, you were just saying, Stacey, weren't you? That
I can't sit
sort of
still.
petrified at the idea of it.
Not at the idea of mindfulness, just at the idea of... First of all, my children are not naturally mindful. They are all over the place. I am not in awe of how mindful they are. And also, I don't enjoy sitting still, Izzy. I'd rather do a task or completely occupy my brain to be mindful rather than sort of like humming or... And I just wondered if you had any examples of mindfulness, because a lot of people throw that word around without actually telling us exactly what they do. Because I think so many of us are in similar situations and feeling anxious a lot, and children running around, everyone's at home. So what would you do typically? What's your go-to?
Stacey, I just want to say my son Kit is a completely different character to Lola, and I think if I was to give you one bit of kind of a tip, because I think people think with mindfulness you need to be sat still, which is just not the case. And also as mums, when are we ever sat still? But say, for example, you're in a moment of complete chaos, it's tea time, everyone's running around, it's all going mad. There's an exercise in mindfulness for mums called Calm Begins With Me, where you literally use your thumb and your fingers and you'll just say, calm begins with me. And you can do it under the table, you can do it at the sink, and it's just a reminder that, okay, there's chaos going on, but if I can just bring myself back to calm, hopefully the kids might feel that from us. And even if they don't, it might have helped us for a moment.
I would have a child in between each finger. I'd be like, calm begins with me.
Try it with them and see if they'll do what they'll come up with.
What's really interesting, Stacey, as well, is what you were saying, you know, as Izzy said, Kit loves to be outside. I love to be outside. I like to get out with the kids and do things. But, you know, I don't like sitting still, but I find it things like being out in the garden or going out for walks, like that is a really mindful thing. And like the other day, you know, back in lockdown, I've become the cleaner. And just for me, like cleaning, just focusing on a task is a mindful thing. You don't have to, there's that misconception that you have to sit down and hum. And it's really, as Izzy said in the book, it's like really simple tips that you can just go to, and might just be that example she gave, which is just something to just keep you calm for that 5 seconds, you know.
I'm so excited for this book, honestly.
So, Harry and Izzy, I mean, obviously lots of parents now facing homeschooling. You two are a little bit young for homeschooling, aren't they? But, I mean, how are you occupying them?
Well, Lola's just started homeschooling. She's done a term at school. So, we sort of found ourselves in a routine. We've learned from the first lockdown that the most important thing is schedule. So, Lola does her homeschooling. I take Kit off and distract him somehow. We kind of just, like everyone else, just muddling through. I tend to go and hide on the loo for quite a lot of time.
I do that.
And of course, you
long. I was just saying,
I do that as well. My kids say to me, "Mum, you've been in there 40 minutes." Really?
Triumph.
and of course, I see you on your Instagram, Izzy. I get very jealous of this, playing your violin, and your kids sit and listen. Her kids sit and listen.
Amazing.
It's amazing. There, look.
No, when I was like first was a mum with Lola, I stopped playing my violin. I never thought I kind of had the time, and I've realised like recently that actually they love music, especially our son Kit. He really responds to it, and obviously Harry's got his drum kit set up in the house, so they go and do drums with Daddy, and I just try and pick up my violin as much as possible, just because it brings a bit of light relief.
Well, the kids are now listening to Fly, Harry. They're realising you're such a cool dad. How does that feel?
They make a choice in the matter. They're at that age where they think I'm cool now, so I'm going to make the most of it, because in about 5 years they won't think I'm very cool. But again, like music and playing music, for me, it's a way of focusing my mind and being present, because I find a lot of the time, particularly in this lockdown, without something to focus on, that's where like my mental health starts to suffer. So playing the drums is a really mindful thing, you know, focusing on what you're doing. And and the kids, I think they're lucky to have. Izzy's a proper musician. She plays the violin. She's classically trained. So it's a really nice thing to be able to give them the music. So.
Oh, well, listen, guys, thank you so much for debunking some of the myths about mindfulness, because it really is an incredible tool. Thank you so much. Good luck with the homeschooling. Book's out now, and it's a juicy one. Take care. Lots of love. Right, don't go.